Hey you, yeah you who clicked on this video. Thanks for giving our channel a shot. And if you will, please do us the honor of watching the video all the way through. Appreciate it. Now onto the video. Okay, so we're back with our list of non-woke TV shows for quarter three. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this one was very hard fought. I mean, I had to look high, low, everywhere. The whole team had to basically scrape every place we could find to find new non-woke shows. So without further ado, I said we get into it. So we're gonna start with our first contestant on the list, and that would be The Terminal List, starring Chris Pratt. A series follows Lieutenant Commander James Reese after his platoon of Navy SEALs is ambushed while on a covert mission. Now, this was an interesting show. I really enjoyed it because not only are we really just seeing two of my recently just really favorite actors, that being Chris Pratt in action roles. Like, I like him comedically, but I feel like he has a real presence in action roles, and this is action packed from start to finish. We also have his brother-in-law, I do believe, yeah, brother-in-law, played by Taylor Kitsch, and I feel like Taylor Kitsch never gets his due. Like, they never give poor Taylor Kitsch his flowers. Ever since John Carter of Mars, like, they just don't give him enough love, and he is phenomenal in this role. This is a really good series from start to finish. Not only does it have action, but it also really brings into focus the idea of PTSD among our service members, in particular special ops. So this was really just a real cool show. And if you're, into that kind of thing, and what's really surprising is getting a non-woke series from Amazon of all places. Like, that's what really threw me, especially with like Rings of Power and all this other crap that's been put out. Like, the fact that they were even able to put this out after Reacher just shows that somebody in Amazon, wants to make some money and is actually paying attention. So let's move on to the next one. So our next series, starring Steve Carell of all people, and it is called The Patient. It aired on FX and Hulu, and this one was different. It's a mini series, and essentially it is following a psychiatrist or a therapist, played by Steve Carell, and the therapist named Alan is basically hired by a serial killer to help him with urges. And I'm not going to spoil anything, but basically this goes terribly wrong in a hurry. This series was really interesting because you get to see things from both perspectives, not just the psychiatrist's perspective, but also the young man who's playing the serial killer. This is played by a British actor. I think his name is Domhnall Gleeson. I'm probably screwing up his name. He's not British. I think he's Irish. But either way, he did a really good job. Like, just really fantastic playing Sam Fortner in this series, the serial killer. So if you're into that kind of thing, this definitely doesn't prick up the ears as far as wokeness is concerned. This is a really, really provocative performance by Steve Carell. Just really measured and thoughtful performance. And I really just enjoyed it. I had a good time with the series. It's not terribly long, but it'll stick with you. So if that's your kind of show, it is not for the family though, so keep that in mind. So let's move on to our final one. I know this is a short list, guys, but like I say, it was very hard fought. All right, so for our final contestant on the list was Blackbird, which aired on Apple TV Plus. Now, this one is also a mini series, and this was very interesting. It's actually based on an autobiography called In with the Devil, a Fallen Hero, a Serial Killer, and a Dangerous Bargain for Redemption by James Keene, who this is the main character of the story, played by Taron Egerton. He plays James Keene, who is a drug dealer who basically gets a really strange deal that he can get his sentence commuted if he can get a serial killer to confess his crimes and where the body's buried. This show was intense, and just the performances in this series will definitely have you. Taron Egerton is magnificent in this particular role. Not only that, but he got super jacked to play this character. Paul Walter Hauser, who you've seen if you watch Cobra Kai as Stingray, dude, he plays a very convincing serial killer in the real life serial killer of Lawrence Larry Hall. And he definitely stole the show. Like his way of being is just so creepy and unnerving and unsettling in this particular series. This also starred Greg Kinnear. Greg Kinnear does a really convincing detective in this, and I really enjoyed him. But I'll tell you, Ray Liotta as Big Jim, oh man, this was the last role that he did before he passed. And he definitely gives a really tear-jerking performance as Jimmy Keen's father in this particular series. If you're a fan of Ray Liotta, you owe it to yourself to see this. Like I said, this was his last performance before he tragically passed earlier this year, and it is just a wonderful performance. Now this, I'm going to be honest with you, this is a rough watch in certain areas. It's definitely not for children, but if you're into crime drama, if you're into things that are based on true stories, you will love it. If you're into psychological thrillers, you will love this series. So I'd say definitely watch it. It's worth a watch. It's not hitting any of the real woke touchstones. Like there's times where you think it's about to go there, and then it just goes in like a completely different direction. So I just thought that it was very interesting series. Let me know what you guys think of it if you get a chance to watch it, but it was wonderful. Now we're going to go through some runner-ups just because I feel like it. So one of the runner-ups for this one was House of the Dragon. Now, I really enjoyed this show, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. It definitely, it's got some woke red flags all over it. Whether we're talking about, there are a lot of feminist angles to it, which is funny, it being, a song from the Song of Ice and Fire. It's got some racial undertones. It's just, it does hit the identity politics a little bit. And for those reasons, it just couldn't be put on the list. Next, we had Sandman. I'm really a fan of this book by Neil Gaiman, but to be honest with you, I mean, with the different swaps that were made creatively, and I know that they were made because of rights issues, but in particular, the John Constantine swap, it definitely hit some woke buttons. And even though I enjoyed the series for what it was, it doesn't really have a place on this list. Next, we had Pantheon, which is an AMC original, and it's animated, and I really enjoyed the animation. I enjoyed the story, but it definitely hits on the tropes of, girl who's the key to everything, and just a lot of just really tired woke tropes that just don't belong on this list. And even though it's an enjoyable watch, you definitely have to kind of hold your nose for some of the tropes that are thrown about. And last but not least, there was Reboot, which is a Hulu original starring Keegan-Michael Key, Johnny Knoxville, and I think oh goodness, now I can't remember her name, but she played Laurie Strode's daughter in the Halloween reboot. And this was an interesting show, and it was quite funny. It was about basically an old 90s TV show that got rebooted in today's time with the original actors. And the reason that this didn't make the cut wasn't because it wasn't funny, but because the themes bandied about after the first couple episodes definitely go into woke territory heavily, even though the first 3 episodes are hilarious. So, it was Paul Reiser is also in the show from Mad About You. And, it was, like I said, it's an enjoyable watch, but it definitely veers into woke territory very quickly. And so, again, it just couldn't make this list. So that was our list for the non-woke shows of Q3 of 2022. Tell us what you think, if there was a show that we missed, or if there was something that you thought might have gone a little too woke for you on the list. Let us know in the comment section below. We'll see you on the next one, and we'll have a Q4 video, I'd say probably right at New Year's, just so you'll have something to watch while you're ending out your Christmas break. So with that being said, guys, we'll see you on the next one. 8-Bit Heroes out. Peace. If you'd like to get a shout out on the channel, then hit that like button, maybe share it with a couple of friends, and do us the biggest honor of all, and subscribe to the channel so you can join the 8-Bit Heroes family. And while you're at it, hit that bell icon so you can be notified when our new videos come out.